Coltt Lepley here, driver of the number 4L305 Sprint car. We're here with another segment of the Thomas All Things Automotive live video series. And today we have a very special guest with us here today, Tom Peck. How are you doing, Tom?
Hey, great, thank you.
Good, good. So, Tom, for those of our younger fans that don't know, Tom raced for Mark Thomas in NASCAR in the 80s and 90s. And for our older demographic, you definitely recognize this guy. He was a legend on dirt, legend on asphalt. Anything you got into, you did really well in. So we'll start off here. You were a Thomas family driver. How was your experience driving for Mark? I mean, what was awesome about that?
Mark and I hit it off really well. We got to be, not only did I work for him, we got to be really close friends off the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Zimbar had actually hooked me up at the time we were racing dirt cars, and he knew I wanted to go further, but didn't know how. And he come to me and he said, Mark Thomas is looking to go to NASCAR if you're interested. So he set an appointment up, and Mark and I went in and sat down, and within an hour or two we had a plan, and shook hands and went racing. So it's kind of history since then.
Yeah. Well, that's the way to do it if you want to do it. You know, that just works out. It's funny how stuff like that works out. Pretty similar to my deal with Mark. Not on that scale.
Yeah,
obviously.
Scaled yet.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll have to talk to Mark about that. But, okay, so how do I know you? So, obviously, you grew up with my mom. My mom grew up with you, going to the racetrack and a few things. And you were close with my family, your family was. And you helped me in go-karts a lot. In my first state race, I remember you lended me a set of tires that you prepped for me. We didn't know what we were doing. You remember that?
Yeah, the go-kart racing, it's all about tires, and it's strange how complicated it is. They're pretty small, and they don't look complicated. And when Josh and I first started go-kart racing, I just loaded a go-kart on the back of the pickup, and we went to the racetrack. And we were in the same shoes you were. And I've been friends with the Manguses, your mom's side, for a long time. Your granddad come here as a shorts adjuster and been lifelong friends. And we have lots of tires, and I kind of make it a habit of helping anybody I can. I mean, it comes back 20-fold over.
Yeah.
I've been helped quite a bit in my time racing, so I owe a little bit of payback to a lot of people.
Well, I know just from your help, you really pushed us in the right direction. Until we were done racing go-karts there, we really had our stuff together. We're kind of starting over now with the sprint car deal. But, yeah, so the number 40, let's just say here, behind us, if you can see the wall of memories here, we have, which number was Mark's? Was it the 96?
Mark's was the 96.
96.
This is our first trip to Daytona with Mark's car.
Uh-huh. Okay.
We were real successful with this car. We went down and we qualified third and raced up front, run fourth or fifth, and that was when Earnhardt Sr. was in and Darrell Waltrip. They were the only two that had qualified me that day. And then, we were pretty successful.
And that was what is today the Xfinity Series.
It's the Xfinity Series right now, and it's at the time it was the Busch Grand National Series.
So not only did you see success, obviously, in the asphalt, but your big success was the late models, the number 40, especially around here. You're a legend around here. And so where did the number 40 come from?
Well, long before I raced, my dad had jalopies, and they were racing, and the man that owned the Hagerstown Speedway wanted to sponsor them. They were going to Syracuse. And he wanted on the race car, Hagerstown Speedway Route 40, because it's on Route 40 in Hagerstown. So they did a one-race deal with him, but they kept the 40.
Yeah.
So when they come back, they got rid of the Hagerstown Speedway, but they kept the 40, and it's been with us for 35 years or 40 years now. And our go-kart's 40.
Yeah, Josh.
But when we went to NASCAR, you couldn't pick your numbers.
Yeah.
You had to take what was available. When Mark and I went, 96 was available. So once you have it, then it's yours as long as you want it.
Yeah.
So we kept the 96, and it kind of got to be synonymous with Mark and I. And then I went to drive for a lady from Georgia, and her number was 19. So I drove 19 for 2 years. Then I drove for Grissom's, and their number was 31. So the NASCAR numbers aren't quite as quite like the dirt numbers. You know, the dirt numbers, somebody has one their whole career.
Yeah.
Down there, you're just lucky to get a number.
And we were just talking, oh, hey there. Josh, your son that races go-karts, he just did a throwback scheme to this red and yellow late model that was so synonymous with winning, and just if you showed up, people realized it was a threat. And it has Snoopy on there. Well, what's Snoopy about on the car?
Well, we had a few years where we were kind of on top of our game, where we won a lot of races, and that was back in the time where you didn't have decals. You had a sign painter come in and paint it. And the guy that painted our car was named George Paler, a local guy, very talented. And he was painting our car one time. He said, "I'm going to do something special for you." So on the C-pillar of the car, he put a picture of Snoopy with his head sticking out of the top, and you can see his feet. And the little caption says, "It doesn't matter if you win or lose until you lose." Which kind of got to be our trademark. And after that, every car he put that little Snoopy decal on.
That's pretty awesome.
So we got it. We happened to have one of the old panels that had that Snoopy. So we had the original Snoopy, and we had decals made from that. Then it's kind of neat.
That's pretty neat. I know his other cars were like that Channel Walk Blue. It was like your Busch Grand National cars. So, okay, we'll kind of wrap up here. What do you think of All Things Automotive just down the road here in McCollumsburg?
Well, it's a great concept. And Mark Thomas has really turned it around, and he's got really good people working for him. They're doing really, really well, and I think it's something that's going to be, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and Mark makes everything work.
Yes, yeah, he does. Yes, he does. All right, well, thank you, Tom, for your time. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate it. And I'm Coltt Lepley here with another thing of another segment of All Things Automotive live videos, and that'll be it. If you see me at Lincoln, wave me down. That's where I'm headed after this, Lincoln Speedway for the Outlaws versus Posse. So if you see me, wave me down. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week.